Hello, welcome to the new video, How Not to Summon a True Hero by adrerb12. Chapter 2, I'm the chosen hero. Chronoa, Starfall Tower. Third person Pa of Akane look around, seeing the other person next to her. He is an exact copy of the character Diablo from Cross Reverie. Could it be that someone else was also brought into this world? Her mind is racing with the possibilities. How did this happen? In 1 second she was on her room, with her computer in front of her, and in the next, she was on the top of a tower, with the elf and Pantherian girls giving her a kiss on the mask. She remembers where she is at the Starfall Tower, a place in the game where adventurers summon summoned beasts. So that means that she was summoned here by one of them. But how can that be? She thinks to herself, looking at the two girls. Akane. A Pantherian and an elf. Akane looks at Diablo, who seems like is also absorbing all of what's happening right now. Looking back at herself, her body seems to be the one of her avatar, the one she created while having Chloe Aubert adult form as the model to it. But she can feel that she has the anti-magic mask, but how can that be? If she was summoned here as her character avatar on Cross Reverie, it would make sense that she looked like Chloe. After all, she created her avatar wanting to play as her. But the anti-magic mask was an item that didn't exist in Cross Reverie. So, that only means one thing. She was summoned in Cross Reverie, or at least in a similar world that reassembles the game, but it seems that she obtained the true body of Chloe, not the one who she based her avatar on. She got the real deal. And that means true space-time manipulation powers. But once again, her mind is conflicted with more questions. If she was summoned by one, or by the joined forces of the two girls, does that mean that she needs to follow their orders? She really didn't like the idea of being ordered around. But can this body really be controlled by a servant spell? Her thoughts are interrupted by both of the girls talking with each other. It seems they are discussing about who was the one of them who summoned both Chronoa, Akane, and Diablo. The summoning was a success, right? With this I've also become a summoner, said the blonde-haired elf. Good greed. This elf. Your misunderstandings are troubling. They were summoned by me. The Pantherian girl responds. But I'm the one who summoned them. Besides, I performed the enslavement ritual myself, too. That kiss and stuff. Akane. Well, it seems that they got to an impasse. It seems that they don't know who summoned who, and or some of them was able to summon the two of us. I kissed them, too. The Pantherian replies, looking at Akane and Diablo. They continue their discussion for some more time. Akane. Should I intervene? She thinks to herself. The Pantherian looks at the ones she summoned. Do you understand my words? Both Diablo and Akane answered. Chronoa, Akane, yes. Diablo. Ah, yeah. The answer, somehow, seems to get the girls surprised. They can talk? The elf seemed to be the more surprised one. I'm surprised. For them to speak out words, let alone understand them is. Akane. Well, if memory doesn't fail me, in the game, summoned beasts weren't able to talk. The elf girl starts to praise herself. Elf, as expected of me, even though it's my first summoning it looks like I called upon some amazing ones. Pantherian. I've never seen something like humanoid and human-like ones. It's probably impossible with an elf magical power. Thinking about it, theoretically, I am the one that summoned them. Elf. That's totally wrong, because they responded to my call, got it? Both girls glare at each other. Pantherian, I understand. Well then, let us ascertain which of us they are enslaved to. Elf. Fine by me. Let's do it, why don't we? The Pantherian walks to the ones in the summoning altar, and gave them a command. Pantherian. I order you, in the name of Rem Galliu, raise your right hand. Akane. So her name is Rem, huh? She thinks, not needing to do it, but deciding to raise her hand. Followed by Akane, Diablo does the same. Rem seemed happy, but the elf girl didn't seem to accept it. Elf. With an order of that level, of course they would listen. Rem. Being unable to accept defeat is pretty unsightly, but very well. Rem gives another order. I order you, Diablo, Chronoa, one of you go and pinch that elf's cheeks a bit. That order got the elf girl in a bit of a panic. Elf. Would you really make that kind of order normally? Diablo was the first one to answer, not accepting the command. Diablo. I'd rather not do that. Rem was taken back and looked at Cronoa, Akane. Cronoa, Akane. I would rather not do it too. Seeing the scene in front of their eyes, the elf laughs. Elf. See, the summoner really was me. So with that being the case, by the name of Shira, I order you to, somewhat strongly spank that Pantherian's bottom. Cronoa, Akane. What kind of command is that? Rem. To do something like order violence to be done to another person. I question your character. Cronoa, Akane, I refuse. Diablo. I don't want to do that either. Shira. Why? Akane looks at her hand. Cronoa, Akane. Even though it seems I was enslaved, I don't feel any compelling force. It seems that this body has some strong resistance against magic. Rem and Shira continue to discuss. Rem. It would seem that it's your fault that a malfunction has arisen. Shira. Isn't that wrong? I had my eye on this place first, you know? Rem looks at Shira and grabs a crystal from her belt. Rem. I should have chased you out from the beginning. It isn't too late to do that now. Seeing what Rem is doing, Shira grabs her bow. Rem. I'll just coercively expel the nuisance and redo the enslavement ceremony. Shira. Looking for a fight. Seeing that the situation has escalated, Akane looks at Diablo, who seems to also have the idea to do something to stop the girls from fighting. Akane removes her mask, releasing some of her aura, and with a strong commanding force says. Cronoa. Cease meaningless confrontation. The one that you are looking at now, it's the chosen hero, Cronoa. Diablo gets the idea and follows it, doing the same, using his own power. Diablo. It would be wise of you to cease your foolish quarreling. You are currently in the presence of Diablo, you know. The risen of both auras of power was enough for the girls to stop trying to fight, and look at both of the summons. Cronoa. I hate meaningless confrontations. Diablo. It's because something like you two bugs trying to crush each other is nothing but an annoyance. Cronoa and Diablo. Therefore, we command you. You shall do a handshake of reconciliation with a smile. The girls look at the summons, a bit startled, but still, they try not to show it. Rem. Who would such a thing with such a foolish no-good elf like? Shira. Ha? The one in wrong is that one over the... Suddenly, both of the girls stop talking, and each one smiles while their hands start to rise. Rem. For such an absurd this is, Shira. No. Why is my body going against my will? The girls shake their hands with a smile. Both of them try to get away, but their bodies won't listen. Rem. Please get away from me, it's unpleasant. Shira. That's my line, you know. Cronoa looks at Diablo, who seems more calm. Diablo. Getting along is a good thing. Cronoa. But why would they answer to the command is not like, wait. Cronoa seems to get an idea of what happened, and suddenly, two collars appear on both of the girls' necks. The collar one that Shira has was black as night and seems to have a similar aura as Diablo's power, while the one that appeared on Rem's neck had a white color. Rem. This is the enslavement choker, Shira. Why doesn't this go on the summoned beast? Diablo seems to think to himself, while Cronoa looks at the mask on her hand. Cronoa, Akane. I see. She touches the mask, and is able to see the information of the item. Anti-magic mask abilities: mana resistance, antidote, magic reflection, breathing support, amplify senses. Cronoa, Akane, everything normal, except magic reflection. Magic reflection was a skill that Akane has obtained while playing Cross Reverie, and it seems that it was added to the mask when she teleported to this world. Cronoa, Akane. I see, so some of the skills that I obtained still are with me. How convenient. As she looks at Diablo's hand, Akane notices a ring. It was the Demon King's ring, a super rare class item that bounces back almost any magic. Looking at the girls, Cronoa says, Cronoa, do you think that beings as powerful as this could be enslaved by you? Diablo gets the idea and joins in. Diablo. We bounced the magic with our abilities. Rem. She looks at her collar. Magic reflection is a tremendous ability, but But I won't accept this, such a thing. Shira. Same here, I don't want something like being enslaved to a summoned beast. Kranoa. Akane. Since you were the ones who sended the magic, can't you remove the spell yourselves? Rem shakes her head. Rem. If we could, we would have done it, and since something like lifting it isn't normally done, we don't know the removal method. If we go to the town, we might be able to find a method, but... She stops, before looking at Kranoa. If the master dies, the enslavement would dissolve. Kranoa. Akane, oh. She looks at Rem, amused. Rem looks in other direction. Rem. That's only talking about the methods. If we had the strength to defeat both of you, there'd be no meaning in the summon. Kranoa. Akane. You seem to know how things are. That means we will have to find a way to get out of the city then. Akane thinks to herself, it was true that they tried to enslave her, but in the end, it was because of this ritual that she got to this world, so she will be polite and as a thank you gift, she would help them remove the collars. But there is other thing that she also wants to do. Kranoa. Akane. I want to test my strength in this world. In the game, my character was powerful, but now that I have Chloe's real powers, I really want to try them. She was about to ask something, but Diablo was faster. Diablo. Oi, you too. Shira. Stop it with calling me you, because I have a name, it's Shira L. Greenwood. Kranoa. Akane. Greenwood. Why is that name so familiar? Diablo. You, is enough for right now, Shira. Got it. Kranoa. Akane. Are there monsters in this area? Rem looks at Kranoa and answers. Rem. Usually, some small monster can appear. Diablo. So there aren't any strong level monsters. Weak ones cannot stand my power. This is certainly a boring place. Kranoa nods, puts her mask back on and starts to walk away. Kranoa. Seems like I will have to test my power on something suitable around here. Diablo slowly follows Kranoa, climbing down the tower. Shira. Hey, don't just go off on your own. You're my summoned beast, aren't you? Kranoa. I'm no one's summoned beast. She continues to walk to the exit of the roof, and Rem follows behind her and Diablo. Rem. The exit is that way, you need to be careful, the inside of the tower is a small labyrinth. Kranoa. Akane. I see. Thank you then, she says, looking at the Pantherian. She looks like a small cat, she sure is cute. I sure would like to pet her ears, they look so fluffy. Wait, what am I thinking? She shakes her head, and continues her way. Behind her, both Diablo and Rem follow, and they hear the other girl calling for them. Shira. Wait a minute, she says, wanting them to wait for her to catch on.